I was scrolling through social media the other day and I came across this meme and I want to read it to you. Everyone's posting their vacation pics and I'm just like, there's my Caribbean resort over there eating my luxury cruise. I found this to be very funny, but once the humor wore off, I had a chance to reflect on what it really meant to me. I'm a registered nurse, I'm a manager of my department. I'm also going back to school after 26 years to get my bachelor's degree in nursing, so needless to say, life gets a little stressful at times. The way I relieve my stress is by riding my horse or going to the barn and doing what I call my barn chores, feeding, grooming, whatever it is that I can do to be around my horse. This meme implies that horses are expensive, and while they are more expensive than a dog or a cat, the benefit to owning a horse is that I can get on my horse and go riding anytime I want to and escape the stresses of the day. So I truly have my luxury cruise right in my backyard. But discussing the cost of pets or different vacations is not why we're here. Maybe you suffer from depression or you have a physical ailment or you know a child who has behavioral or neuromuscular disorders or you know a veteran who's suffering from anxiety disorders and having trouble fitting into society. These are all some very good reasons that you should own or at least try riding a horse. Symptoms of physical, mental, and emotional disorders can be helped greatly by equine assisted activities and therapies, or EAAT for short. I find this acronym to be very funny because horses, that's all they do, they eat. But seriously, after we identify some problems that EAAT can help, then I will prove how others with these issues have benefited from EAAT, and I will show you how it can enrich your lives as well. The first step to solving a problem is to identify it. The Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship, or PATH, has a very long list of special needs that EAAT is beneficial for. The list is so long, I'm just going to narrow it down to three that we're all very familiar with. The first being attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD. It's pretty much a household term. An interesting fact, So, Ling, Park, and Shao tell us that 6.8% of children in the world are diagnosed with ADHD, and that is just an astounding number. These children are often anxious, they're easily distracted, they have trouble holding their attention on anything, and this often leads to behavioral disorders, behavioral issues. Cerebral palsy is another disorder that the Center for Disease Control and Prevention defines as the lack of muscle tone or control, which causes the inability to maintain balance, and it's all from abnormal brain development. And finally, on my list today is general anxiety and depression. These are so common that I'm not even going to define those for you. I'm certain that most of us know someone that has at least one of these special needs, but I bet you didn't know that horse therapy or equine therapy can treat all of these. Much research has been conducted on the effects of EAAT on the treatment of special needs, and this research supports the idea that people suffering from these problems benefit greatly from EAAT. Why Young So and others found that children with ADHD developed self confidence because of their ability to be able to control such a large animal. Also, their anxiety levels were decreased. They could practice more self control, and this all led to better behaviors. Studies by Rhett Rigby, PhD, and Peter Grandjean, PhD, concluded that just the motion of the horse strengthened muscles and improved muscle tone and function, and improved balance and posture in people suffering from cerebral palsy. And if that's not enough to convince you to try equine therapy, David Fiorello proved that EAAT was effective in treating anxiety and depression. Also, in his study, self confidence and self esteem was improved. So, before you tell me that you don't want to try horse therapy because you're afraid of horses, just know that getting over the fear of horses is just like getting over the fear of anything else. You just Gradually expose yourself to it. Start by petting or grooming. Take some lessons before you just get on and ride, and just build up a level of confidence before you get on. And if that doesn't convince you, he took his baby steps and he's not afraid at all. He's so brave. There's well documented evidence that equine therapy is very effective in treating many disorders. But what if you've never been to a professional to be diagnosed or gotten help by a professional? Well, just because you've never been diagnosed with an anxiety or depressive disorder doesn't mean that you can't experience these feelings sometime, anytime in your life. According to the statistics from Anxiety and Depression Association of America, 40 million adults in the United States have some kind of anxiety disorder, but only 37% of those people are treated for them. Constance Scharf, PhD, tells us that just being in the barn, and I can tell you this from experience, lowers stress and blood pressure. But not only that, it also helps you to be able to identify your feelings, work through those feelings, and develop trust, not just in your horse, but you learn to develop trust in other people as well. And I trust that my little Chimango is not going to steal my soda. He's so sweet. Love him. To sum it all up, horses are great healers of the body and mind. And now that you've been fed all of this information, let me just leave you with one final thought. If you would, just take a look at this picture and close your eyes. And just imagine that you've come home from a long day at work. Your boss has just made you so mad. Your kids are screaming, fighting over the video games. Your dog peed on the floor because of all the excitement. The house is a mess. You got to make supper. You have all this stuff to do. You just want to get away from it all. So you take 30, 45 minutes and you go ride. You get on your horse and you're riding out into the woods and you feel the cool breeze and the warm sun on your face. And you take a deep breath and breathe in that good fresh air, and all your anxiety and depression just melts away. So open your eyes. Horseback riding, even for leisure, is great therapy. The results are calm nerves, the physical well-being of your body, and the confidence to know that if you can get on a horse and ride and control that horse, then you can be in control of your own life and you can conquer anything. So why not give it a try? And the next time that you open your eyes, this may be the view in your backyard. Thank you.